तू आरती की लौ नहीं, तू क्रोध की मशाल है, तू खुद की खोज में निकल, तू किस लिए हताश है. As an officer, I can say that yes, even in administration, it is not equal everywhere. We need to encourage women power, we need to celebrate, we need to reinforce that commitment within our own self. Mahatma Gandhi ji, the father of the nation, he very well had said that if we empower a woman, we empower the society and we empower the nation. And that is why we are all here. How and up to what level have we empowered the women around us? And what more needs to be done? What more can be done? If we see India's growth story, so we have the freedom struggle being led by the pioneers of Rani Lakshmi Bai, Jhansi Ki Rani, and many such women whose name we may not even know. But yes, their contributions mattered. Their contributions mattered a lot. And post-independence, if we see the way we are seeing women in leadership profiles, when India got independence way back in 1951, we had our first parliament wherein 15 women were elected as the MP. So only 15 at that particular point of time, way back in 1951. And now if we see, we have, in September 2023, a very important and a landmark legislation on women reservation, which has been enacted, which provides 33% of reservation for women in parliament and the state assemblies. So this august audience, they represent various parts of the country. And when I was inquiring, when I was reading about this program before I came in, I was so delighted to see the initiatives from rural areas, the initiatives from towns. They are all being recognized over here by a very esteemed jury. If we see India's women, there is no field now left out in which we have not seen women making their strides and feeling their and showing their presence at the global arena. And as part of Indian Administrative Service, I was selected in 2008. And I have spent my initial 8 years of my service in Tripura, a very beautiful state in northeastern part, which frankly I would like to admit that I had never traveled beyond the northern part before I got into civil services. And going to Tripura, joining there, learning Lu language, interacting with the tribal population, seeing their problems firsthand, it actually gave me a lot of experiences which was never also I could not foresee. And then after that, I worked in Haryana on intercadre deputation for 4 years, and I again went back to Tripura. So there are hardly 2 or 3 states which I have not traveled across. But whenever I travel more towards the rural areas, we definitely need to see and we definitely need to empower the young girls, because the young girls are the future. They would become part of the society. And just to mention very briefly about how I came into civil services, so it was not like my childhood dream to be in civil services. I have also, like you, some of you, I have also worked in the corporate sector. I am a qualified CAS LLB. Later on, I did my LLM also. So it was very late when I was almost completing my graduation that I came across civil services. And by that, till that time, I had never discussed this with my family because nobody was in this service earlier. My family belongs to Haryana. And as we know that Haryana has had deep patriarchy rooted. So when I came across civil services way back in 2003, I wanted to do it, but then there were a lot of inhibitions. My parents did not readily agree because we know the selection is not sure shot. If we see the data, 10 lakh plus aspirants fill the prelims form and the selection is in few hundreds. And if we talk about the selection in IAS, IPS, it is even lesser. It is hardly 400 to 500 who will get selected every year. So this risk was very high, and even if I get selected, then There was no guarantee, there was no surety of what service I would get, what cadre I would get. And then how will I settle my family life? And more so, I come from such a community जिसमें ये बोला जाता था कि अगर लड़कियों को ज़्यादा पढ़ाओगे तो उनका suitable match नहीं मिलेगा. So that was also a kind of a society which I have seen. But I am thankful that my parents, they supported, my father especially, he believed in me. And Papa only suggested that if you want to do civil services, do not just let your career go like that. You should have a plan B. So I took his advice and I started my civil services preparation. Along with that, I did my LLB. I also started my part-time job as a company secretary because I started it after completing my graduation and my CS course. So those 3 years were very tough. Managing time for examination, for my law, for my part-time job, it was not easy. But I think it was my commitment. Of course, there are people who support you. My family, my father, my mother, my siblings. So it is also very, very important to understand that, yes, when a girl wants to do something, it is also imperative for the society that the society also let her groom, let her blossom. And the society also has to empower her. And when you are getting that opportunity, then it is up to us, we the women, that how do we utilize that potential, how do we grab that opportunity. That is also very, very important. And we should always appreciate the people who have supported in our journeys, whether it is a male or a female. And there are many males around us, within our families, within the society, who also support. So we should always not crib about that males are not supportive or a female is doing everything on her own or, you have to have your battle totally alone. It is not like that. Yes, in some cases it is like that, but not everywhere. So wherever you are getting that support, for example, my father has been very supportive. Now my husband, he is very, very supportive. He is an IRS officer. And because of him, I think, because of his support, I have been able to manage my professional and personal commitments. I am a mother of 2 kids. So it demands time, both at the personal front also. So therefore, it is important that, yes, we recognize the contribution by men. That is also very, very important. And for women, it is also one thing I would like to say, that your journey would be more challenging than the male counterpart. You may have to face a higher share of maybe, sacrifices or the balances. As an officer, I can say that, yes, even in administration, it is not equal everywhere. There are still many posts in India in which we have not seen women officers even till now. But situation is changing in a positive way. And in my career also, there have been some postings wherein I became the first female officer to be posted. So it definitely comes with a lot of responsibilities, but I think that with our potential, with our commitment, because sincerity and commitment is, I think, God-gifted to females. So if we leverage that, if we give our 100%, there is nothing we cannot do. And that is why we have such kind of platforms wherein we need to encourage women power, we need to celebrate, we need to reinforce that commitment within our own self, that yes, we can do it, and there are many things we can do. It is not only that if you have achieved that is sufficient. You need to empower other women around you. So recently I visited Adi Mahotsav festival, which was being organized by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And I was so much delighted to see women entrepreneurs from various parts of the country, especially the tribal population, because it is primarily dedicated for empowering the tribal population. And I always try to encourage and empower because I have served in the remotest locations. I got this opportunity. So whenever I get this opportunity, I interact, I try to learn from them, their experience, and it was so heartening. And even the sari which I am wearing today for this program. I bought it 2 days back from the Adi Mahotsav only, and that was beautifully curated by one of the women entrepreneurs. She came from Gujarat. So these are very small, small things which we can do in our daily life, and there is no end to it, to what we can achieve. So just keep believing in yourself, and sky is the limit. Accelerate action is the theme for International Women's Day 2025. Let us all keep empowering not only ourselves, keep empowering the society around us. With few lines, I would just like to end my talk. This is from movie Pink, and I'm sure you all must have heard these lines. तू आरती की लौ नहीं, तू आरती की लौ नहीं, तू क्रोध की मशाल है. तू आरती की लौ नहीं, तू क्रोध की मशाल है. तू खुद की खोज में निकल, तू किस लिए हताश है. तू चल, तेरे वजूद की समय को भी तलाश है, समय को भी तलाश है. So let us all keep scripting our own path. We are Ma Saraswati, we have Ma Saraswati, we have Goddess Durga, we have all Shaktis which are present within us three. Let us all recognize, nurture, and keep empowering the women talent around us. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.